I love me some kaiju. I love Godzilla. And it's been a while since we've done a streaming, technical movie type check-in. Godzilla Minus One is out and available to watch on US shores at home. I never did see it in the theater, so I've definitely been waiting for this one very excitedly. And it's hit Netflix. It's hit iTunes. The disc is available if you're an importer. Haven't seen it on Kaleidescape yet. But I've checked around some of the available options to watch Godzilla Minus One. So let's take a look at the streaming technicals, the streaming qualities, who's got Atmos, and maybe consider if you're going to be watching Godzilla Minus One in your home theater, you want to get the best experience, how should you go about doing that? So let's start with iTunes. I bought the movie on iTunes, $14.99. iTunes does advertise 4K Dolby Atmos. It does not indicate Dolby Vision or HDR in any type of way. We do have only the original Japanese audio. Of course, there are English as well as French and Spanish subtitles. So if you wanted to watch the dub, you're not watching the dub on iTunes. So let's take a look at the streaming technicals. Now I have running here the latest version of tvOS, the latest general version, of course, not the one that was just announced at WWDC. However, I do have the Apple developer menu options unlocked and the debug menu to check out streaming quality. So I will let it play a little bit here, but I will have to blur out the actual image. So as we can see, subtitles are automatic. We're getting English subtitles on the bottom. And in terms of video quality, we're getting QHVC, we're getting SDR, again, no indication of HDR10 or Dolby Vision. Video range specifically is SDR. It is in 4K. It is a native display of 3841, interestingly, by 1597. They're not streaming the black bars. No big deal there. We are getting audio at 770 kilobit per second. It is Dolby Atmos as well, Japanese Dolby Atmos. So that 770 is on par with the generally best quality streaming Dolby Atmos that we get. The video bit rates, though, could have been a little better here, iTunes. We've always seen, we commonly see quite a bit better off of iTunes. A peak video bit rate, 20.49 megabit per second. Average video bit rate, 12.51. Quite honestly, I would have liked to seen the average be about twice what it is and seen peaks going up into the 30s and 40s. So fairly disappointing in terms of the streaming technicals overall, even in iTunes, who's usually one of the top contenders, one of the best winners when it comes to general streaming quality. And especially given the fact that Apple gave us the Monarch show, they're connected to Godzilla in spirit. I would have hoped for better. I would have expected better out of them on this release. This would have been a marquee, I think, worldwide tentpole movie to really make a stand for audio and video fidelity. But alas, we have what we have. Interestingly, too, there are no special features. I'm not exactly sure what special feature content may or may not be in the Japanese disc release, but there's nothing here aside just from a trailer. It is interesting to point out on iTunes, there is also a movie entry for Godzilla Minus One minus color, so you can buy the black and white version separately. Kind of a bummer that this isn't just a variation. You have to buy them both $14.99 a piece rather than being able to just pay $14.99 once and having both variations of the film be available. So overall, I'm questioning the value and the quality a little bit here out of iTunes. Now, another popular place to be able to watch Godzilla Minus One and not set yourself back an extra $14.99 is Netflix. So it did come to Netflix as well. Netflix is showing us 4K. It's showing us Dolby Vision, but only 5.1. So we're basically apparently trading, according to the tags here, we're trading Dolby Atmos for Dolby Vision. Let's go ahead and play. And I will have to blur out the video there. So what are we getting? We're getting CDH1 codec. We're getting Dolby Vision Profile 5. Awesome. 3840 by 2160. We're getting audio at 643 kilobit per second. That is a 5.1 channel mix. 6 channels, not 16 channels represented. However, video, this is what we should have got better at least out of iTunes here. 27.51 megabit peak, so a good bit higher than iTunes. An average of 13.77. A little higher than iTunes as well. Now, if I take a look at the audio tracks, that's subtitles, audio tracks, I do have options here for English. So if you want to watch Godzilla Minus One and you don't want to read the subtitles for it, maybe watching it with some of the junior members of the family that also don't want to read the subtitles, I think this is it. Netflix is the place. Netflix has the dub. There are also French, German, Japanese, and Spanish audio as well. I'm going to check this out. Let's switch over to the Japanese audio track. Oh, and there we go, actually. So Dolby Atmos engaged. So the original Japanese audio is in fact still in Dolby Atmos. It's kind of misleading, I think, that the tag on the movie page in Netflix doesn't indicate Dolby Atmos. It only said 5.1 there. I think they should put the Dolby Atmos tag there. So you have choices. Do you want to watch the movie, or listen to the movie rather, in original Japanese audio and watch with the requisite subtitles and get the better audio quality? 771 kilobit per second audio here. That is top tier Dolby Atmos. So I have to say, I think Netflix, from a streaming perspective, Netflix is beating iTunes. iTunes didn't get you special features, so there's really not a whole lot of extra reason to buy the movie for those. You can get the English dub here. The Atmos audio is on par with iTunes, Netflix to iTunes for the quality, and the video technicals are just natively better. Way to go, Netflix. Very surprising. So if you're looking for some other higher fidelity ways to enjoy Godzilla Minus One, of course you cannot buy the disc in the US yet, as far as I understand. There is no targeted release date. However, you can import it. The regioning works out fine for disc players with a Japanese release. The disc package is available in quite a nice release, importable. You can get it on eBay. You can get it from a variety of places online. I did get my hands on a disc. I was able to make an MKV rip of it. All of that stuff works pretty well. And I can report that the movie size on disc comes out to be the main movie plus, of course, the main Japanese audio track comes out to be 65 gigabytes in size. Overall, pretty decent for, pretty average, I guess, for a 4K movie disc release. On disc, the video bitrate is right about 70 megabit per second, and the Dolby Atmos audio bitrate is about 4.2 megabit per second. So you're looking at roughly several times the streaming there. Of course, 770 kilobit for the streaming Dolby Atmos, 4.2 megabit for the lossless disc encoded Dolby Atmos, and nearly 7 times the video bitrate. I did play around a little bit. I watched a little bit of the Netflix stream. I watched a little bit of the iTunes stream, and I watched a little bit of the disc rip as well off of my Apple TV, just using Infuse here in the living room. I have to say, absolutely, the disc just looks that much more detailed, looks that much a little bit sharper. Streaming is pretty decent. If you're going to do the streaming, do the Netflix, but no doubt about it, and particularly for the audio, once I take this movie down into the home theater, the disc is going to easily be superior. Also, at the time of this recording, there is no Kaleidescape release. We haven't been tipped off that one might be coming. I will say in general, there is a kind of a big gap of Godzilla movies, unfortunately, in my opinion, in the Kaleidescape ecosystem. I would love for them to sign a deal with Toho and just bring the entirety of the history of Godzilla into the Kaleidescape platform. That is a content set that I would be buying day one from my library. All 20 some plus, 25 plus, whatever they are, movies. I want them. So Kaleidescape, if you can get them, bring them. There's a whole lot of us fans and owners in the ecosystem that would love to have it. As it is, I haven't sat down and watched the entire movie. I haven't done any Godzilla or Kaiju movies with my kids yet, and I think this one represents a pretty good one actually to start with. So I'm excited to wait for the opportunity for me to watch it with them for the first time. We'll see if I can hold out much longer, if I just kind of suck it up, and probably we end up just watching the Netflix stream first with the English dub, because I think, particularly with my younger ones, that's what they would prefer. They would have a better experience watching the movie, even with probably the inferior dub, rather than having to read while watching the subtitles. But I'm crossing my fingers any day, any given week, if the thing can just hit Kaleidescape, maybe we'll get the dub on Kaleidescape as well, and go from there. So super excited for this film, super excited for this release. Long been a fan of Godzilla, and just the awesome classic Japanese kaiju style movies. Sound off in the comments and let me know. Did you see this at the theater? Are you picking it up in some format, or just checking out the Netflix stream that you may already have access to for watching it at home? What's your choice? What are you doing? Are you importing, or are you holding out for a physical or a Kaleidescape release? Sound off in the comments. Let's discuss. Hey, if you'd like to buy a Kaleidescape, I'm a dealer, wouldn't you know? I can help you out. Get in touch with me. If you'd like some other awesome high-end home theater AV equipment, I have business partners like Audio Advice and others. Use the links down in the description to get to them, as well as Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Newegg, and a host of other affiliates. Otherwise, please do all that regular YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, leave that comment, and come on back for more home theater discussion and fun. Thanks.